Hey guys, welcome back. If you see this face makeup and this same shirt and the hair and everything, and you're wondering, have I seen that look before? Yes, you have. It was in my last video when I did a drugstore fall tutorial, and I will link it down below for you if you want to check that out if you've already seen it. Thank you. Today I actually wanted to talk about tips for surviving college. Now, if you're anything like me and you procrastinate, then I think these tips will be very helpful, and I just wanted to, share some little advice on how I think would be great ways to survive college and stay up to date and not fall behind in your classes and get all the F's and then just cry inside because you fail at life. Well, maybe you don't fail at life, but that's just how I feel. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about college tips that would be helpful. Now, this may seem a little weird that I'm doing a video like this because I'm only a freshman in college, but when I was in high school I did do dual credit, and I'm kind of used to the college world now and how you're supposed to get things done and how they don't necessarily tell you what you're supposed to do and all that fun stuff. So we're just going to talk about things like that today. Tip number 1, I suggest that everyone get a planner. Now I know that might sound crazy, but I was never a type of person to plan things out. I thought it was stupid. I was like, why in the world would you need a planner? But I have realized that during college, it is very, very helpful to have a planner. In my planner, I like colors, and I don't like to look at something that's super boring, so I like to put a lot of colors on mine. I color code everything, so what I need to do in that day is green, what is like homework stuff that I need to do that day that maybe due. Then I have just everything that I need to do for the week. So I have my whole week planned out in these planners, and just during the day, if I've already done whatever is on in my planner, I just check it off. I just think it's really helpful to have a planner because in here I put all my assignments and their due dates, and it helps me because I leave it out and I see every day what I'm supposed to do or what's due when it's due, and that way I can plan my days out better, and it's just easier to have days that you know what you're supposed to do, so you don't fall back on any assignments or anything like that. Tip number 2. So I would suggest that you study. And I know that everyone says that, but studying is so crucial, because if you don't study, you're gonna fail your tests, and then you're gonna just lose the credits, and then it's pointless and you paid for the class for nothing. So I would say that one of the easiest ways to study is to find out when your test is and start studying days in advance, weeks in advance, depending on how much you feel like you need to study for that, whatever it may be. So I would start with setting aside, maybe like 30 minutes to study for that test or whatever, maybe an hour, 2 hours, depending on how big of an exam it is and how much studying you think you actually need to do. So during these study sessions, I would not suggest just sitting down and like completely studying and never taking a break and making yourself go crazy. I would suggest to take breaks in that time. Take a 5, 10, 15-minute break and just relax for a minute, listen to some music, watch a YouTube video, or read a book, or whatever makes you feel relaxed. Do some yoga, exercise, I don't know, whatever works best for you, and just try that. I also suggest when studying, personally for me, I know it helps that I can't have complete silence. It will make me go insane. So play some low music in the background. Don't play songs that you know that are like your favorite and you will jam along to them. I like to play piano music in the background, so it helps me study and it's just relaxing, and it's not something that I can sing along to, and so I won't get distracted by that. Tip number 3. Take notes. Taking notes is so important. Whether you have a class that's online or a class that's in like a actual classroom, it is so important to take notes, because this is all the information that you're going to need for the test most of the time. They're not going to teach you stuff that you're not going to need to know. So what I like to do is I like to take notes, and when there is a definition sort of thing, I like to highlight it in yellow, because again, I like colors all over my pages or else it's really boring. And it's really useful for studying. So you know that when you go back into your notes, if you have a vocabulary test, then all of your vocab words are in yellow. That's how I like to do it. And then green things are green things. The green highlights on my thing are things that I think that are very important that I'm going to need to remember, or it's something that the professor has said to me, you know, take note of that because that's going to be important later on. And so they're hinting at things, and they're also telling you, hey, you're going to need to know that for something, hint, hint, which probably means a quiz or a test. So I would suggest to definitely take notes so you can keep up and know what's going on in each class. And then I suggest after you've taken them that day in that class, then I suggest you read over those notes. So if you did like half of a PowerPoint, I would suggest reading part of your notes again that night or all of them, and then every day just keep reading those notes so it sticks in your brain and so you remember what actually happened in that class instead of going on and having no earthly idea what's going on or forgetting all that information. It's just really helpful to read your notes again so that that information will stick in your brain. Tip number 4. This is something that is very, very important in college, is to get your sleep. I know that you have a lot of more free time in college and there are so many things that you want to do, but it is so important to get your sleep, because if without your sleep you're going to be super grouchy and groggy all the time and you're not going to want to learn, and sleeping will help you build your energy up. You'll be well rested, you will be able to focus more, and that's something that I think is very important, is to get your sleep. Every now and then it's okay to go to bed at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, but you can't do that every night because then your body is just going to be tired, you're going to be tired, your brain doesn't want to learn, and that's not good. Tip number 5, have caffeine. Especially if it's one of those mornings where you are so tired and you just don't feel like doing anything that day, you need to drink your favorite type of caffeine. Personally for me, I like to drink coffee, but if you're a coffee, a tea, you know, Coke, Pepsi, all of those like soda's caffeine. I would suggest to drink that so that you get energized and that so you're ready to go to class or whatever you're trying to do. But I think that coffee and tea and all that kind of stuff is very important as a college kid because you have a crazy life already. You need some energy, which is sleep and then caffeine if you need the caffeine. Do it both. Sleep, caffeine, do it. Tip number 6. The last thing I want to share is to just have fun in college. I know that everything might seem very stressful at the time, or you're stressing over a big test, but stress is not going to help anybody out. It never helped anybody out. Now, I'm not saying to completely ignore the test or the homework that you have done, but you need to be able to have some fun in college and reward yourself every now and then with doing something fun. So if there's a TV show that you've been wanting to watch that TV show. Or you want to go hang out with your friends, hang out with your friends. Just don't get too caught up in the homework and the tests, and just if you do that, you're just going to stress yourself out and you're never going to have any fun, and then your experience is not going to be great. I knew this person back in high school, and he literally always was worrying about tests and quizzes and everything, and he just always stressed himself out, and it was not healthy. I understand where he's coming from because he wants to get good grades. Everyone wants to get good grades, but worrying about it too much is not the right way to go about it. And I just think that if you have fun and do those things that you want to do, not all the time, you need to focus on your work, but you need to have some fun as well. Alright guys, that completes my hopefully helpful tips to surviving college, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up if you want to, and please subscribe down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys. Which tip am I on? Read back on your notes. Is that wait, I don't know.